I'm horny, 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 horny. No, actually talking about the 2014 movie Horns, starring Daniel Radcliffe. This is actually a sort of horror light film, I guess you would say. It's more of a kind of murder mystery, probably, actually. And it's basically based on a novel by Joe Hill, who you may or may not know is Stephen King's son. So this obviously stars Daniel Radcliffe as the sort of the kind of the lead character, and basically he's this kind of young man who has been accused of killing his girlfriend, and pretty much everyone just thinks he's guilty, and there's kind of evidence and witnesses that basically kind of, you know, points him at this kind of crime, and we don't know initially whether he has done it or not, but probably we think he hasn't. Anyway, it turns out there's some kind of supernatural entity or something supernatural basically intervenes, and these horns start to sport out Daniel Radcliffe's head. And they sort of grow throughout the movie, but they also give him some kind of like mental power. So whenever he comes in contact with someone, they basically kind of spit all the secrets they're hiding, kind of act out their sort of innermost desires and things like that. So this film's actually quite funny. There's far more humour in this film than I actually thought there was going to be. So it's not like a straight horror film at all. In fact, like I say, it's more of a kind of a supernatural mystery more than anything else. But I'll kind of put it under the horror bracket because I don't know about supernatural mystery section. Anyway, so it plays more like a murder mystery than a horror film, but there are some kind of like some quite good horror imagery. I thought the effects are quite good when we sort of see the horns coming out, and as the film progresses, he kind of gets more bestial until he sort of becomes this kind of like final form, which reminds me a lot of Darkness from the Legend film, if you've seen that. I thought Daniel Radcliffe was pretty good in it as well. I wasn't thinking Harry Potter when I was watching this film, which is always a good thing. So I think he kind of did a good job of kind of getting away from that sort of Harry Potter persona. So he did a pretty decent job here. And I really like the relationships with him and, you know, especially his sort of family members and his kind of friends. There are some kind of cliches here, I have to say. So, you know, there's a lot of flashbacks in this movie, and particularly in the kind of the flashbacks, I thought it's fairly cliched. I have to say I called the real killer pretty early, and I think it doesn't really do a good enough job of keeping it kind of a little bit, you know, under wraps, so to speak. I think it's pretty obvious right from the get-go who kind of the real killer is. I guess another small issue I have is there's absolutely no explanation about where this supernatural stuff comes from. You know, unless I completely missed it, never given a reason why it is that Daniel Radcliffe is turning into this kind of like demonic visage, and you know that kind of bugs me a little bit as well. We just have to accept that it's there basically without any explanation. And the only negative thing I said, it has a bit of a weird pace sometimes. So it starts kind of straight away with this kind of, you know, we don't see the kind of the character build up first of all. It kind of is all sort of told in flashbacks, so it kind of has a few sort of pacing issues, I would say. But overall, this is a thoroughly enjoyable film. It's an interesting story. I think it's well acted, it's well directed. I think you know, everyone does a pretty decent job here. The effects are good. I don't really see too many negatives apart from just, you know, a few little nitpicks here and there, to be quite honest. So I can really recommend this movie if you haven't seen it. So go check it out. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment and I will look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.